Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to provide this Honourable House with an update on the government's new public safety radio system. Mr. Speaker and honourable members may recall that the government of Bermuda raised the request for proposal to replace the existing radio platform on October 6, 2017. The RFP procurement process commenced with an open procurement on the government website and included an online advertising internal magazine in the Radio Resource International. Email notifications were also provided to local and international companies who produce the technologies addressed in the RFP. Mr. Speaker, all of the bidders were from Bermudian companies. Each company partnered with an offshore manufacturers and expanded our pool of best public safety technologies available. 7 addendums or clarifications were issued in response to the questions from the bidding firms. Mr. Speaker, the evaluation committee was made up from representatives from the Ministry of National Security, the Bermuda Police Service, the Bermuda Fire Rescue Service, and the Department of Digital Technologies, or IDT. Mr. Speaker, each one of the proposals were invited to an interview with the committee in order to clarify issues and to make presentations on their systems. Committee members then rated each proposal using the standard procurement evaluation matrix, modified for technical requirements of this procurement. On the 20th of April 2019, the Ministry of National Security and the successor contractor, Electronic Communications Limited, or ECL, signed a contract for the value of $4,174,057.92. Mr. Speaker, ECL promised to provide a new radio communication system with state-of-the-art technology that would assist the public safety agencies of providing Bermuda in providing enhanced services for safety for the government and the public. Mr. Speaker, some of the key elements in the winning proposals included the transition from an old analog voice-only radio system to one that features modern digital voice and data capabilities, and increased radio performance, which included enhanced coverage and greater capacity, interoperable communications for all government agencies and key partners during emergencies and crises, enhanced radio systems redundancies and reliabilities that will minimize the impact of failures due to hurricanes and other unexpected events, and a cost that would reduce the government's annual radio expenditures by approximately 60% over the 15-year life of the new system. Mr. Speaker, it is important to note that the government of Bermuda normally pays a minimum of $2 million annually, spread across several government departments and quangos for 2 radio communications services, by which are used by 911 emergency services and ancillary services. The key driver for this proactive cost-cutting change is the government's public sector reform initiative. Mr. Speaker, this initiative fits right into the initiative's objectives of centralized telecommunications operations, cost avoidance methodologies, cost reduction methodologies, strategies for reallocations of cost savings, rationalizations in current and proposed telecommunications contracts. Our model has even become an example of a way forward for the government. Mr. Speaker, the implementation of this initiative also has been a collaboration across all government's core public safety departments and quangos. There are currently 3 committee levels: a steering committee, a technical committee, and an operational committee. Our collaborative project has an essential involvement from Information and Digital Technology Office, or IDT. Mr. Speaker, I have had the opportunity to visit the dispatch training exercise for both the Bermuda Police Service and for the Bermuda Fire and Rescue Services to kick the tires myself, so to speak. Mr. Speakers, the dispatchers examine things like how to call a group, how to call an individual, how to send text messages, how to talk between their console and another console, and how to talk between their console, another console, and in another location. I've had the opportunity to speak with a few officers who are currently using their handsets in the first phase of the rollout. The officers commented that they found their units to be clearer than the previous, and it had made it easier to hear in high-stress areas and louder working environments. I've held one of the new handsets. I found it to be lighter. It was more rugged. It appears that it will last longer, and it has a longer lasting battery life. In addition, It is waterproof, Mr. Speaker. The handsets can be programmed to talk over the ear, to talk in groups, and are dynamically assigned to drastically reduce the requirement to bring radios to a central location to be reprogrammed. For the first time in Bermuda, every radio system across the various departments will be able to speak to each other. The handsets have high levels of encryption. They will help ensure that the radio system is safe from 21st century security threats. Mr. Speaker, I am excited about this accomplishment. I must emphasize that this government, and more specifically this ministry, will continue to seek out opportunities to make cost savings while identifying the opportunity for potential for efficiency gains without compromising on quality of services and ensuring that we keep Bermuda safe. Mr. Speaker, I want all of Bermuda to know that this radio system and its new platform will enable public safety agencies. Mr. Speaker, I would like for all of Bermuda to know that this new radio platform will enable public safety agencies to coordinate more efficiently than in past days. This implementation is a critical technological resource for the Bermuda Police Service, the Bermuda Fire and Rescue Service, the Royal Bermuda Regiment, the emergency medical technicians to carry out their duties with greater effectiveness in ultimately serving and protecting the Bermuda public at large. Mr. Speaker, the public safety benefits of this platform include more efficiently deploy officers and better response time for the public, greater operational coordination between the public agencies for fire, police, the Bermuda Ambulance Service, and the Royal Bermuda Regiment, routinely and especially in time of emergencies, such as hurricanes and other natural and man-made disasters. The acceleration in communication and officer reliability through instant connection. In short, Mr. Speaker, this platform will ensure a professional approach that will enhance trust and public confidence in the ability of the departments within our ministry. Mr. Speaker, the government's new public safety radio system will have many points of resiliency and redundancy. Honorable members, the implementation and rollout of our new radio system will continue over the next few weeks, and I will provide another update in the upcoming months. Mr. Speaker, this collaborative initiative also includes the support of our vendor, East End Telecom. We would like to thank the East End Telecom team for the many years of dedicated service to the people of Bermuda. Again, we say thank you. Mr. Speaker, I would like to also thank the government's Radio Platform Information Project Working Group, which includes Mr. Vernon Wears Jr., Policy and Project Coordinator for the Ministry of National Security, Mr. Darren Simons, Deputy Commissioner of the Bermuda Police Service, Mr. Dana Lovell, Deputy Fire Chief, Officer with the Bermuda Fire and Rescue Service, Mr. Eugene Bassett Jr., Network Engineer, Design and Implementation for the Department of Information and Digital Technology Office, and the Bermuda Radio Communication Consultant, Mr. Mark Palins of Palins & Associates, who has acted as the subject matter expert throughout the process. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank my colleagues, cabinet colleagues, in particular, the Minister of Finance, the Honorable Curtis Dickinson, the Ministry of Public Works, the Honorable Colonel David Birch, and the Premier and Minister of Cabinet, the Honorable David Burke. Without your assistance, this project would have not been able to take place. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.